4 new MPs will be heading to the House of Commons after closely watched federal by-elections yesterday, but the status quo in Parliament will remain the same. Voters in 3 different provinces had their say yesterday. In Quebec, in the riding of Notre-Dame-de-Grâce, Westmount, Oxford in southern Ontario, and 2 ridings in Manitoba, Winnipeg South Centre and Portage-Lisgar. This morning, the Liberals and Conservatives still hold the same ridings they had before the vote, 2 wins each last night. But as Catherine Cullen tells us, the results may also show how political winds are shifting across the country.
The parties may have held on to their seats, but that doesn't mean that there aren't lessons to be learned here. Let's start with Portage-Lisgar, Conservative stronghold. But really, a lot of this was about how Maxime Bernier was going to perform in the race. Pierre Poilievre, relatively new Conservative leader, still relatively new to these by-election tests. He's a populist, reaching out to a lot of the same voters that the People's Party of Canada has been. So the Conservatives went into this really wanting to squash Bernier's support. Instead, the number's gone down a bit for the People's Party of Canada in this riding, but I don't think as much as the Conservatives would have hoped. In the meantime, the Conservatives and the People's Party of Canada have been battling it out over who opposes the World Economic Forum more, who embraced the Freedom Convoy more. And you know, the Liberals have been watching all of that with hopes of bringing some of it up in the next general election. Now, the Liberals kept their seat in NDG Westmount. That was despite some concerns in Quebec amongst members of the English-speaking Anglophone community over how the Liberals had dealt with some questions around language laws. Liberals also had some competition in this case from one of the co-leaders of the Green Party. It was a better performance than the Greens had seen before, but still the Liberals holding on to the riding. Also holding on to Winnipeg South Centre. That used to be the seat of former Cabinet Minister Jim Carr, who passed away. His son Ben won the seat last night. Finally, Ontario, the riding of Oxford, another Conservative stronghold. Again, the Conservatives hanging on, but a closer race than they would have liked to see. In this case, seems to have come down to a lot of the politics around who the Conservative candidate actually was. It was quite an ugly nomination fight. Clearly some bad feelings. The former Conservative MP said he was actually going to support the Liberals in this race, and so the Conservatives had a tighter result than they would have liked to have seen and what should have been a safe seat for them, but a win nonetheless. Catherine Cullen, CBC News, Ottawa.